At ConocoPhillips, safety is our first and most critical spirit value. It's also a defining company commitment. Our life-saving rules put that commitment into action. This video focuses on the rule that guides us to stay out of the line of fire. Line of fire is a phrase that describes how a person can be in the path of an object or hazard, and potentially in harm's way. We can take simple, practical precautions to reduce our risk of injury. And workers in the Anadarko Basin have measures to do just that.
Today we're in the Anadarko Basin. Our Anadarko asset has over 260,000 net acres that we operate here. It's over 600 wells, and it spans between western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. We came out with the 8 life-saving rules in 2013, and while they covered most of our operations, we realized that actually some of the most serious incidents we were having had to do with the line of fire.
The line of fire rule is critical because we've got so many hazards that are present in our fields that include pressure, electrical, dropped objects. There's several different ways that line of fire comes into play for us.
A lot of times out on locations, you can find yourself in the position of the line of fire. And so you want to make sure that you stand clear and that nobody else is in the line of fire when you release something or remove a plug or anything that could have trap pressure behind it.
Today we have a workover operation with a workover rig. We're pulling the pipe out, then we're going to go in and clean the lateral out. We got our pump line and our flowback line. The hazards for those lines would be potential for rupture. So the barriers keep you back from the rupture, as well as tripping hazard too. And we also have an exclusion zone under the rig floor. We've got some cones that prevent people from going underneath the rig floor, potential for dropped objects there.
We started using pipe handling equipment basically to take people's hands off of the pipe itself. So we use machines to lay down our pipe, and then once we get it onto the pipe rack, we start using stiffy tools, so that way we never have our hands in pinch points or anything like that. Keeps all of our bodies, hands, and everything else out of the line of fire. Then of course, we have moving equipment, so for our spotters, we'll make sure that they're standing off to the side as well. If we ever lose visual contact between the driver and the spotter, that's an immediate stop so that folks can reposition themselves and we don't ever have anybody get crushed or pinned between a moving vehicle and a stationary object.
In our daily operations here in the Anadarko Basin, we experience line of fire potential all over the place. We've got well work, we have lifts that we're doing on a daily basis, and so we are very aware of this as one of our life-saving rules.
When we have our JSA, we talk about where we're going to position everything, and then we get all our equipment in position, and then we talk about where our barriers are going to go so nobody can come in the exclusion zone while we're working. We use tag lines on each end so we can control it without being under it. Your tag lines are long enough where you can keep a 45-degree angle so you're never underneath any part of the lift.
Each of the life-saving rules has critical controls. Those are the things that we absolutely have to get right each and every time. For line of fire, they include barriers and exclusion zones, positioning your body to avoid line of fire hazards, and protecting ourselves against dropped objects.
The line of fire life-saving rule is just one more way that we can make sure that everybody goes home safe at the end of the day here in the Anadarko Basin.